Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very special Coach's Corner here in Lowellville, right here at Giovanni's in downtown Lowellville, right next to the bridge. And we are here with the Lowellville girls basketball coach, Lisa Modelski, and it is such an honor to be sitting with you here. We were talking off air about all the great things that you've been able to bring to this program in your 9th year.
Yes.
One of the tough things that is happening all around is the struggle to keep kids coming back into sports, not just basketball, but other sports. But certainly basketball is one of those sports that it's tough to keep kids coming.
Yeah.
In a small school like Lowellville, you've had so much success and so many great memories and great moments, and you're doing it again this year with what you have. You are one of the best coaches because
I
you keep
appreciate
bringing
that,
you keep bringing these kids back, and you tell them it's more than just the sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the memories and,
Yes.
and getting and letting them play other sports,
Mm-hmm.
which hard to do.
Yeah.
So for you, some of the challenges this year, what have you faced? And so far, what have these young ladies overcame for you?
You know what? Like we talked about off air, just keeping numbers is a tough thing. Basketball's hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I tell these girls all the time how much I respect them for being here because they're the 9 girls in the whole school that decided to come out, beat up their bodies, and sacrifice. And
Long year.
and I mean, if you would look at some of their knees, I mean, they're black, they're blue, they're yellow, they're scraped, they're bleeding. But they come out and they sacrifice themselves for their community, the school, their friends, their family, and they do it with such like dignity, and I'm so proud of them. But yeah, it's just hard keeping numbers. We have 9. Anyone goes down with a sickness, illness,
Injury, yeah.
it's tough. We have depth. I think all of our girls are capable of playing. I think some of the younger girls or the new ones, like we have one freshman, her skill level is great, and I think she's going to be a tremendous player. Just keeping her positive and understanding the pace of the game has changed so much from 8th grade year to 9th grade.
Sure.
Trying to put her in situations where she's going to be successful in the game. I don't want her to get in there and get bounced around, and I don't want her to feel like she's got to do something she's not capable of at this point. So it's just, treading water and trying to find that fine line and making these girls feel a little bit of success. And I try to tell them it's not always about winning. The past 2 games we struggled to put the ball in the hoop, and that ended with us losing in games that I think that these girls understand that they probably could have been a little bit more competitive and even won. So keeping them positive. I thought we had a nice little session yesterday where we just sat back, talked to each other, and watched film, and made them understand that they need to take the pressure off themselves and play. But yeah, I'm happy with how these girls respond. They're a good group. I mean, they're a better group of people, and that's no testament to me. That's their family and just how they were raised. So I'm very proud of them.
It has to be. I know the competitor inside of you, and it has to be an incredible challenge to look down the edge of that bench and see 9 faces.
Yep.
And say, okay, because you want to make changes, you want to make things and get a spark somewhere.
Yes.
For you, what mental gymnastics do you have to go through before a game, after a game, during a game, in order to make things happen and challenge yourself even for that?
I told them, you said, after the last 2 games, I said, you know what, guys, I didn't coach well.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. In the Newton Falls game, I was frustrated. I think they sensed my frustration with just how we were playing. And I almost stopped coaching because I was like, I don't even know how to help them through this. And I sort of just got blinded by things that were happening out there. We tried to do a couple things, and even the things we set up, just the shot wasn't falling, and then they were getting frustrated. And afterward, I sort of had to step back and say, you know what? I got to be better than that for them, you know. And then the next game, coaching them up a lot more and doing different things and trying different things, and still the shot wasn't falling. And then you almost self-assess yourself and say, oh, my gosh, maybe I'm not the right person. Maybe I can't get them. I just told Coach Prosick today, I said, I was watching film at lunchtime from 3 years ago, just trying to find plays and trying to find things that work, just to try to give them opportunity to help themselves.
Yeah.
And, I just want to make them better players. That's what I'm here to do. The win record, this hurt. I'm a competitive person.
Sure.
I always want to win.
Yeah.
And I hope that they want that. But really, when it's all said and done, it really doesn't matter. We talked off air. I said, don't ask me what my win-loss record is, because I really don't know it in the 9 years. Because I really didn't come down here to to create like, oh, I need to be this winningest coach in this history, or it's more to try to make these girls just better basketball players. They're already great people.
Yeah.
I don't even need to work on that. But if I could teach them a little bit about a sport that I love and have been around forever, then that's why I'm here.
Let's talk about the 3 seniors that you have
Yep.
and what they mean to this program, what they've meant to you this year.
Oh, I can't say enough about my seniors. Alyssa Kazan, I would say, was the only one that got a little bit of reps as a freshman. And in Lowellville, that's pretty common,
Yeah.
right? Smaller school as a
Small
freshman,
school, yeah.
you usually get a lot of reps. Or most of my freshmen have started over the past couple of years, but Alyssa was my only, I think, senior now that had some reps as a freshman. Last year we had Morgan Lewis, who you'll talk to in a little bit, step up and become a beast out there. She's on the floor. She's everywhere. So we know what she's capable of and what she brings. And then Alyssa and Michelle had some injuries last year that they dealt with, didn't get many minutes at all.
Yeah.
So it's like them stepping back into almost like a freshman role, but they've taken it on with such great pride, and they're holding the weight of this team on their shoulders. And we talked to them yesterday when we had our little therapy session, and we just said, listen, our point guard, and you guys don't have to be crazy vocal leaders, but you're leading by example because of what they show and how they act. But you guys just need to take control out there, be positive with the girls, show them, all the adversity you guys have faced, whether it's in your personal lives or even just the injuries over last year and how you were able to come back. So I'm extremely proud of all 3 of them. They all bring something unique and different, and I think it just makes these younger girls so much better.
I know you're huge in the family, and it means a lot to you. How do you turn this team into a family year in and year out? You've done it for 9 years. It's always impressive to me.
Yeah.
Sit back and watch the way you coach, because you get frustrated, as you alluded to, because you care. And if you didn't care, you wouldn't get frustrated.
Yeah.
You just walk away from it. How do you continue to make it a family atmosphere in that locker room?
I talked to them yesterday about it, and I keep going back to that because it was like a therapy session for us. Like I said, with the past 2 games, we haven't played to our potential, and the girls know that. And I think they sensed some of that frustration from me, and then it sort of just snowballed after that. And I was like, okay, I got to be better for them. They know that I was down and upset, and maybe, they didn't need me to tell that. They didn't need, to tell them that. They knew it, but when I got down, then I think it just made them feel worse, because they know usually I'm typically a positive person. I try to correct things. But, yeah, family's huge. I grew up in basketball by being around all the people I was around that coached. My Uncle Joe Fuline, my father was my coach, for my first, 7 years of my 9, my brother-in-law, my father coached with me. Now it's my father and, Coach Prosick. So family is so important. I try to preach it to these girls. I tell them all the time, you don't have to be best friends, but when you're in these walls or within this, this court, you're going to be sisters.
Yep.
But you know what? They live it every day. These girls all hang out with each other.
Yeah.
They do the things outside of the court that make them such a unified group. That's why I said I can't be upset with them over wins and losses, because they're just great people. And they're positive, and they try to have fun, and that's really what this is all about.
Believe it or not, I understand that coaches are people. They're human beings as well. You have feelings. You have all things that you want to do outside of coaching as well. How do you reset? How do you kind of center yourself when it comes to frustration, or even when you get too high or too low? How do you bring yourself back to center?
Well, I will say I have a pretty amazing coaching staff, and I've always had, whether it was, like I said, with my brother-in-law the first 7 years, or now with Coach Prosick and my dad, who's also been there for 9. They center me. When I'm feeling the negativity, they're always finding the positive. And then vice versa. When they're feeling the negative things, I'm trying to find the positive. So, watching and just seeing with these girls and breaking it down, and like I said, just trying to be better and learn. I'm a person that constantly calls people for help. And I tell these girls that all the time. Don't be afraid to ask for help. If there's something on the court that I'm saying and you don't understand, or you don't, you're uncomfortable in the position, you need to tell me. I'm going to have more respect from you telling me that than being like, oh, I can't trust this girl in the game. You know what I mean? So I need that openness. I need that communication. I need them to tell me what they're comfortable with and what they're not. And to me, that's that communication that sort of breeds like that family kind of background and
Yeah.
that family kind of unity. But yeah, they sort of center me because I look in their faces and I know that they deserve better. And unfortunately, as a coach and as a team, people look at your win-loss record, and that is what it is. But and trying to tell them to go out there and have fun when you're losing,
Oh, it's tough.
it's tough. How do you keep their minds positive, and how do you keep them wanting to come back
Yep.
and take a beating, or go up against Jamaica Brungard or
Yeah.
But they do it, and then they give me everything they have, and I can't ask for anything else than that.
You're about halfway through the year. So
Yep.
when you look at the back half of the season, what are one or two things that you really want to work on and kind of check off that bucket list for this 25 or 24-25 group of Louisville Rockets?
I think just coming back and refocusing as a group. Like I
Okay.
said, the past couple games we've not been to our potential, and the girls know that. I think just coming back, refocusing, taking the pressure off themselves. They're putting so much pressure on themselves and to do things that, I'm not sure that in their mind they're ready or
Yeah.
capable of doing. And it's just like, guys, we scrimmaged some amazing teams. We've played some amazing teams, and we've played with these amazing teams, and we beat a couple of them. I said, so you got to get back to that. You got to get back to not, be the underdog. Go in with no expectations. I don't care about mistakes. If you're not working hard, you're not making mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing with me. But they need to get back to just focusing on having fun and what they do well. And that's just giving me everything you have, not worrying about shots falling, and just playing the game.
I love it.
So-
All right, last question for
Yeah.
you. You're going to need a vacation, feels
Oh,
like, a little
yeah.
bit. Anywhere in the world, any amount of money, where would it be and why?
Oh, well, my husband's not a traveler. He hates to travel. He was from Poland originally, so he was born there and actually moved to Poland,
If you
Ohio.
say Poland, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
You're going to vacation in Poland?
Well, he would want to go there.
Okay,
I'm
I was
not
gonna say, I'm
one-
out.
I'm a beachy sand, warm weather person. Ooh, I would say Fiji.
Fiji. Have you been?
No.
Okay. What's the best vacation you've been on?
Oh gosh, I did a lot of traveling in college for basketball.
Okay.
So I got to go to a ton of places. I would say Pepperdine University,
Really?
California. Beautiful.
Really?
Beautiful.
I love it. Look
Beautiful.
at that
Sits
smile.
right on top of a mountain. You're overlooking the Pacific, and it's gorgeous there.
Look out, Pepperdine. She's coming. Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Keep doing
Thanks.
great work with
Thank
these
you.
young ladies. We appreciate it, certainly, and we appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming down and, honoring these kids. They deserve it.
You got it.
Thanks.
We'll see you next time.